And welcome back, YouTube. This is Boosterbox Buster, here with another WildCard Wednesday. And let me tell you, it's a good one. Today I got for you, hailing from the Fate Grand Order franchise, in 1/7 scale, Minamoto no Raikou anime figure review. Now this particular anime figure is made by the company Bellfine, and I believe it's my very first anime figure that I have purchased from this company, and let me tell you, the quality is pretty dang good. I'm pretty impressed by this company. But before we get to the actual figure review, I want to take a quick look at the box itself. Now the box has a very simple but effective front window packaging here that has white that transitions into a purple with some very lovely purple flowers on the sides. Of course, the Fate Grand Order logo, the character name, and up in the top of it we have the official Bellfine company logo and the official Type Moon sticker of authenticity. Moving to this side of the box, we have a very lovely image of Minamoto no Raikou herself. On the back of the box, we have a couple of different ways you could display the character, and of course all the legal information on the bottom. And on this side, we have a picture of the back of Minamoto no Raikou. Very lovely. Now, I gotta say, as far as boxes go, this box does not impress me. It's very average, very mundane. In a sea of anime figure boxes, this one would probably get lost in the shuffle. However, you don't buy the actual box, you buy the figure that comes inside the box. So as far as boxes go, I've seen better, but the figure itself is quite well done, and we will get to that in just a second. Because you did not come here to see a review of a box, you came here to see a review of an actual anime figure. And well, here we go. Introducing Minamoto no Raikou herself. And I gotta say, this is a very lovely figure. I like it quite a bit. I really like the light purple color that's going on with this character. It just really looks nice. We're going to do a quick spin around of this particular anime figure before we get up and close. Now, I gotta say, this one's probably going to be a little bit longer than normal because there are a lot of optional parts, and I want to try to show as many optional parts as I can with this particular anime figure. Man, I really gotta invest in a turntable. Maybe that'll be the next thing I get. Now I gotta say, the amount of optional parts they included with this particular figure, I was very impressed with. They could have easily broken it up into two separate figure releases if they really wanted to. Like some particular figures have done, which I really don't like that practice of. Alright guys, time for the close-up shots. First up, as always, we got the base. And let me tell you, I like the simplicity of just the black standard base. However, I wish that it had a little bit more. She's often depicted in some sort of forest scene, so I may have liked to see like a foresty style base, but you know, it is what it is. Or at the very least, a nameplate or the Fate Grand Order logo somewhere on there. You know, it's just super basic, and also On the box it shows a clear base. Here we get a black base. I don't know. I just wish it had something to go with it. You know, the base does not do anything. It's just a base. I mean, it doesn't do anything wrong. It doesn't do anything extra. It doesn't go that extra mile. It is what it is. Now moving on to the feet. Oh, let me just make sure she's secure here. Fell a little bit loose. Didn't want her to topple over and take out the camera. As you could tell, she's wearing these open-toed, like, high heels. I believe these parts are supposed to be part of the outfit. I'm not 100% sure. They're like platform high heels, different style high heels. They're held together with red rope and this really ornate gold buckle that kind of shows where the purple body-tight suit ends, which I really like how that kind of shows. It probably goes like right to the base of the heel. I really do like how that kind of shows through that little open toe latch there. Now, of course, you could take a look. The toes are all there, and they have... she's not wearing any nail polish, but they did put a little gloss on them to just kind of give that toenail, just to kind of look like she actually has toenails, which I hope everybody does. So it's a little bit glossy. I don't think my camera's going to pick it up, because you need to hit it just in the right light, and you need super close-up view of it. But like I said, I don't know if my camera's going to pick it up or not, but you just got to trust me, it has like a little bit of gloss on them. Her heels are nice and smooth to tell that she keeps her feet moist with lotion, so as I would expect, nothing less from Minamoto, no Raikou. Let's move up to the shins here. You see she's wearing these like black, almost like armor-like shin guards, which are very, actually makes quite the fashion statement. I really like them. I really like the gold trim with the black on them. It just looks really nice, held together by these ropes around her ankles and knees here. Just a very nice black and gold shin guard. Now, of course, her knees are open, so that kind of tells that she wants to compromise a little bit of defense where her knees would be for speed, so she could run a little bit faster and freer. I can understand that with the type of profession that she's in. Now moving on up a little bit here to the upper thigh, you can tell that that skin-tight purple bodysuit continues around there. And here we will check out this very lovely ornate piece. Now I'm not quite sure what you call this right here that kind of goes right in front of her upper thigh here and around the back. But I know it's the same thing that Chun-Li wears, and I think it's really cool. Now you could tell that it's much longer in the back than it is the front, which typically I think it's usually about even on both sides, so that one's a little bit unusual. But you could tell it's very ornate. It has these very lovely gold bells that hold these tassels, which almost look like miniature red broom heads, which I really like. It's just really cute. And of course she has little purple flowers right around the very upper inner thigh. Very cute. And of course this really ornate red tassels, red, what would you call it? Like red ribbon type thing going around here. Goes all the way to the back of the piece as well. And then we're gonna kind of zoom out a little bit to see this really awesome effect going on. Now, as you can tell, this trail leads down and almost into this magical tail of fire. It's burning orange and blue, which means it's super hot. You would not want to touch that. You're probably gonna burn to a crisp if you touch that. Just very, very awesome. I really like that a lot. And it's see-through to kind of give it that twisty, flame feel. I really like that. It's just such a great addition to this piece. And I also like how the trail lies on the base to give her a little bit more support. Now we're going to take a look at the particular sword that comes with this character. Now this sword is detachable, so you do not have to display this character with the sword. You could take it off if you want to. I really, really love the little, what would you call it, like, almost like fuzzy dice, but fuzzy balls, I guess you'd say, on the top here. Almost looks like Christmas ornaments dangling off the top of the sword. Just really, really good attention to detail there. And I really like this, like, white and green one here. Just really, really cool. And this one here just looks like something you see straight out of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, the black and gold one there. Almost looks like bondage-ish. And then, of course, the hilt of the sword is very ornate. You have these gold emblems and impressions that just look really, really awesome. Of course, the guard is a very simple gold. Nothing addition to it, but it really has a pretty cool ornate design. Almost looks like the saint symbol there. Very lovely. And then we move down to the actual sheath. It has a very, very lovely ornate gold like attachment, so she could attach it to these ropes that come off of her, so she could carry it around her easily. And it has these... The sheath itself is just a very nice red base that goes into this really adorable orange and black tail that almost looks like a super long Garfield tail or like a tiger tail. And from the front, it actually almost looks like she has a tail herself, but it's actually a part of the sword. It's just a really cool technique. I really like that quite a bit. And it even has texture where the where some of the where like the black parts are raised up above the orange parts, which I really like. It's just that little additional piece of detail. It doesn't really feel like fur, but it gives the illusion of look, and that's the main thing. They could have done mixed media if they really wanted to, but that cost a lot more and deteriorate over time. And trust me, cleaning pieces that actually have real fur or real like fox fur, you know, fake fur, it's a pain. So I'm glad that they did not opt for the mixed media option here. Now I'm gonna have to zoom out a little bit because this particular figure does not fit into frame too well, so I'm gonna have to... It ain't gonna be super close up here unless I decide to bring it in at a tilted angle. But you're gonna see that Raikou is wearing this, I'd almost call it like a breast guard or chest guard right here. And this is indeed an optional piece, this piece with the heart right over her chest, with very lovely floral flowers. So you do not need to display her with that, but I chose to display her at the beginning here just so I could show you how she looks with and without it. And it's much harder to get it on than it is to take it off, I will say that. And of course it's all tied together with these really lovely, adorable little red knots, which are really nice attention to detail. We really did not need to do that. So I do like that quite a bit. And it's just, you can't even see it on the back because of her hair. So I will, once I remove it, I will show you if there's any detail on the back. Now we're going to kind of go to her abdomen section here. You can tell she's wearing a very lovely, almost Batman-esque belt buckle here. And it's kind of the support piece for all of her ropes that kind of hold everything in place, if you know what I mean. Over here we have some more black with gold trim belt that circle around to this side, which I don't know if you can even see it in there or not. Oh, looks like that did come off. Sorry about that. I will try to reattach it in a moment. And it attaches here with the more black belt with gold trim. Very, very lovely. And the belt does have almost like a belt-like texture to it. It's not, once again, not mixed media, so it's a very fake feeling leather feel, but it's, at least they tried. And as you can tell, this is one of my biggest issues with this particular sword, is this does not want to connect to this at all. When I try to connect this, oftentimes the other pieces will disconnect, so hopefully that doesn't happen. All it takes is just the slightest nudge, and this particular piece does not want to work. So hopefully it stays this time. That is one of my biggest gripes with that, is the sword does not want to stick some of the time. And I'm afraid that over time, with gravity and just, you know, vibrations, it's just going to come loose one day and just right, kind of slide right onto the crest of this, her trail here. Alright. Now let's take a quick look at her hands and arms before we take a look at the most important piece of any figure, the face and the hair. As you can tell, if I could get it in frame here, she's wearing some very lovely black gauntlets that has some very lovely gold studs in them and gold trim, so she has quite the appetite for black and gold and purple. And they have a very lovely little X right at the top of the knuckles there. Very lovely. And of course, they are fingertip free, so she could have more accessibility to her options. And right at the wrist here, it's all connected with this very lovely red rope, or ribbon, sorry. Ribbon is probably the better term for it. Rope makes it sound a lot more bondagey. So you can tell it's the exact same thing over here. And she does appear to have a little bit of a peach color going on for her, if it'll focus here. A little bit of a peach color going on for her fingernails here. So she may have applied some peach nail polish. I know it's supposed to look more like a more realistic fingernail, but I think she actually put a little, because it looks much more colorful than the toenails do, so I'm guessing she may have put a little bit of an accent on there to make them pop. Very nice. And going up to the shoulders here, we have this very out of place, puffy, like, shoulders, which almost reminds me of like the Shakespeare style shoulders. I don't know, it just looks weird. I know that's how the character's designed. I think that was just probably the weirdest design choice on this particular character. Everything else is great, it's just that's a little bit odd. I guess if she's not wearing her breast guard, it's probably to make the arms not look so small in comparison, but that might just be a theory. Now, let's look at the make it or break it part of any anime figure itself, the face. Now I gotta say, the face is very, what's the best word? Not amused. She just kind of looks like somebody told a bad joke and she is just not amused in the slightest. I don't know. She has that slight smile that she's kind of given a forced smile, but, you know, almost like a Mona Lisa type smile, you know. Is she really smiling? I don't know. The eyes are very well done. I wish that they were a little bit wider. You see eyebrows on her, which you don't see a lot of on anime figures. A lot of times they omit that, so I do like that. I don't know, the smile just looks a bit creepy to me, but that's just my opinion. I really love the two wisps of hair, that what I like to call it that anime fang hair that kind of sticks out there. I like that quite a bit. Otherwise, the hair itself is very broomy when you go to the back. I like the front. The back gets a little bit washed. The piece holding it down here just looks overtly large, but I understand she needs it because she has quite the head of hair, but I don't know, just that white piece coming off there just looks a little odd in the block itself. Just, I don't know. I get more of a like a toy, like a kid's toy wrist toy, or a kid's wrist toy than anything else off that. I don't know, but that's my opinion. The bottom of the hair, however, does look pretty decent. Once it comes off down here, you get some pretty decent wisps and trails, which I do like quite a bit. Overall, the hair's not too bad. I've definitely seen worse, but I have seen better. I just really don't like this hair tie that holds it at the bottom. I know that's how what the character has, but I just think it looks a bit silly when it's actually put to practice. Now, that's pretty much everything there is before we get to the optional pieces. So I will show you some optional pieces here. First up, which you guys probably didn't even notice, which I had a heck of a time finding where to hook this up at. This piece right here pops off. And its hook, which is really annoyingly placed, is right here. If I can get it. Arg. Now, when you first get this figure, you might think, well, that's really annoying to do, and it is, but I will show you the best way to do it, and it's gonna be a bit freaky. Before I do any more detaching, reattaching, please keep in mind, it's gonna be a bit freaky. You might see this as a bit of a jump scare, but I'm gonna have to remove the head and the hair, which, in order to get to a lot of these places a lot more easier. So yes, the head does come off. You just apply a little bit of pressure around here and wiggle it up and down, left and right, and it should eventually pop off. Just like that. And what I'm going to show you looks like something out of a horror movie. Oh, I'm having way too much fun doing this. Okay. That looks like something out of Silent Hill. That looks like something out of, like, Fatal Frame. Alright, so now that we have much more easily accessible territory here, I'm going to show you how to equip what I like to call bow and arrow mode. And it's pretty simple. So what you have to do is remove that rope, which is optional. You do not have to attach this. And replace it with this, which we're going to take a look at here quick. It's a very lovely quiver with rope attachment. Quiver, very lovely. Now, if you're asking me, it looks like this should be longer, but I understand they have limitations. Either that or the arrows are much shorter or have much longer tails on them than expected, because typically I'd expect this that's quite a long tail on an arrow if it stops right here. Either that or it's a very short shaft. But I will show you how to attach this. It's pretty simple once you remove the head. That's why the hair is out of the way. So there's a hole right here, right underneath her arm, and please attach. Just have to get it in the right angle. Okay, and that one has attached. So now I'm going to show you where the other attachment piece is, and that's right here. And then just apply a little bit of pressure to both sides just to make sure that they are both in there. Oh, this one did pop out, so I do have to try to relocate it. There we go. I always just apply both pressure to both sides just to make sure that it does firmly stay. So she will have arrows kind of poking out her side like she's just been shot multiple times right in the right upper thigh, which that would be very painful. And I will show you how she looks like without her breast guard on. It does take a little bit... Actually, no, now that I remember this right, before I break it. The ropes on the breast guard actually do detach right at the front here. So then you could lift it up and kind of pull this side out. Up, 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 up. There we go. Woo! Almost felt like it broke, but it looks to be fine. Okay. And I will show you what she looks like without the breast guard. There we go. And remember, you can display this multiple ways. You don't have to display it the way that it's meant to be shown. You could display it multiple different ways, so do keep that in mind. Display it the way that you want to display it. Now, to put this back on, she does have a bit of a collar, if you do not wish to display her with the breast guard. And then she has this little, very lovely, I'd call it like a bow tie that kind of wraps around these two loops to kind of keep everything in place. If it wants to stay. Did I not put that in right? It should go in that way, right? And then these should go this way if I am doing it right. It's not one to go in. Did I do something wrong? I know it doesn't go that way, right? No, it go. I remember it went up. I said, did I not put the thing in right? I thought I did. Apologies for the technical difficulties here. This is what happens when I've only done this a couple times. Okay, okay. Yeah, it just looks a bit odd. Like it's not fitting. Okay. Yeah, because it's supposed to fit like this. Where this goes in here, and this goes in here. It's supposed to fit in just like that. Oh wait, okay, I see what I had. I had it, more backwards. You're supposed to pull it ahead a little bit. And then this goes right here. There we go, that looks much better. So you put this little ribbon right in front there. You put the neck guard back on. And then it's time to reattach the ghost head. Oh! That sword came unattached again. That's so annoying. Oh. Remember, her head goes in at an angle. Ah, oh man, it does not like that quiver. So what's going on here? Apologies, I'm going to try to reattach the head. Hopefully without undoing... Okay, the ribbon's unnecessary, you don't really need the ribbon. That stayed on there, alright, let me double check. Yes, that one did stay on, the important quiver. Let's try to reattach this. Like I said, this is the absolute weak part of this particular figure, is this just not wanting to stay on for the life of me. Yeah, a lot of fun, guys, isn't it? But this is the life of an anime figure collector. You get some that just don't always want to cooperate sometimes. I'm almost going to have to end up gluing this if I want it to stay, which is really annoying because I hate gluing anime figures. Because it just doesn't line up. This particular piece right here to the holes where you attach it. It just does not want to line up. Sorry about this, guys. Trying my best to equip it so I can have a final product to show you guys. Well, it's going to have to do for now. Alright, so the quiver stayed attached, did it? Oh, don't tell me that popped out. Please don't tell me that popped out. Okay, okay. The quiver stayed attached. I thought it was loose for a second, but it looks like it's on there. Oh, nope, nope. It did come attached right here. There we go, much better. Okay. And the very final piece of this particular anime figure. Sorry about all the adjustments there. Is this very lovely archer's bow. And I gotta say, it's pretty cool. You have a very simple black bow with some very lovely red and gold ordnate pieces all throughout it. Just very lovely overall. And of course, instead of having to attach it to her preset hand, it comes with a set hand already, which I thank so much, because a lot of anime figures would just be like, oh, you just figure out how to shove it in your hand, you know. Alright, so I will show you how to attach that. It's very simple. This hand comes off very simply. And this particular piece, once you get the right angle, slides in super easily, and the bow kind of rests right at the bottom of the base there. Super simple attachment of the bow. Now, I gotta say, overall, I think I like this display the best. It has the arrows, it has the sword, it has the bow, it has a lot going on, but not overtly. If I want to, I could try to attach this, but it's not staying for me, so I'm going to leave that alone right now. And if I really wanted to, I could attach this instead of just a simple V collar neck, but I think with the bow, this would just be a little bit over the top. I think that this is particular the way I'm going to display it, with the arrows, with the bow, with the sword. Overall, I personally really like this anime figure. There are a few connection issues, especially with the sword. I really don't like where the rope and the quiver connect to. It's just really annoying, and this piece just does not want to stay on for the life of me. But other than that, with the exceptions of the issue with the base, I really like this figure a lot. I'm gonna rate it a solid 8.5 to 9. Oh, just because of the trouble it gave me, I'm gonna knock it down just a little bit to 8.5. If you could look past the trouble of the connection port with the sword and this little piece here and the simple base, you have yourself a stellar anime figure with many options to display it as. With that said, I think I've definitely gone on way too long. This is Booster Box Buster reviewing an anime figure review of Minamoto no Raikou from the very awesome Fate Grand Order series in 1/7 scale by Bellfine. Signing out.